What's up, guys? We're back here at Atlas Empires, and some big news came last night. There was a Ninja update once again. So a lot of updates seem to be happening in the background where you don't have to actually download a patch or anything like that. So server-side update, and what they did with this one is they made the upgrade timers longer. So you can see here, an upgrade to level 6 for this stone storage is 1 day now. A lot of the defensive structures didn't really get upgraded, so still 6 hours on that, I believe. I'm not 100% certain on what the old timers were, but there's been a lot of people reporting that, hey, these timers are longer. Like, what's going on? Like, is this right? This is an error. Some glitch happened. 1 day, 10 hours here. 1 day on that. And no, the developers did come back and confirm that, no, they did update timers. They changed timers. And so quite a few people are actually angry about this, and rightfully so. You shouldn't be updating this kind of stuff without releasing information to the player base. For one, if you do need to make a significant change like this, which this is a pretty significant change, adjusting the timers by several hours, you need to do this with patch notes. You need to communicate with the community what's going on, release a statement, be like, hey, this is messed up, we need to fix it, this is our fix, here's why we're doing it. Not in a Ninja update. You don't do this. For one, no matter what you do, even if you announce that you're doing an update like this to increase timers and to slow down progression is what they said, then it's going to make people angry no matter what you do. But at least do it properly, and at least do patch notes, announce it, say, hey, this is coming, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. A lot less people will be angry at that point. There still will be angry people, no question about it. But a lot less people will be angry and more people will be understanding. They did also say that this is to help matchmaking. So they are still tweaking matchmaking in the background. There is still a lot of issues with bot bases. And we're currently seeing a huge issue with bot bases and trophies. So we don't have enough troops to actually go fight, so we're just going to show you off some of the bases that are bots, and it's like, so here's a humans base, 2,700 gold. I mean, it looks like a humans base. This could very well be a bot base as well, but it looks like a humans base, and I think a giveaway, if it's a humans base or not, is the upgrading. So someone is actually upgrading this mortar, which would mean it's most likely a humans base. Because, hey, why would a bot base be updating anything? So here's another human base, but look, once again, no loot. This one has only 186 loot, even worse than the last one, like, significantly worse. Here's another base, and again, an upgrade going on, so looks like a human. But again, only 3,000 loot. And when you need 250,000 loot to actually upgrade anything, 3,000 loot doesn't do anything. So here we go. This is a bot base, and this is the one that you're very familiar with. We've showcased this one several times on the channel. The free money base. This base is toxic, needs to be changed, and it hasn't been changed. It's still in the game, still giving tons of trophies also at this current one. You can just see the disparity there. Like, so this is a bot base also. You'll see this layout quite a bit. Doesn't have nearly as much gold or stone or lumber. This looks to be a player's base with very small resources. So as you're going through here, you'll notice it's like, why would I attack anything besides that one base that had hundreds of thousands of loot? That's the only base that I should actually attack. This one, decent loot. 47,000, 4,000 stone, 50,000 lumber. But it's a very strong defense base. You can snipe off the buildings around it, and you can probably get very close to 50%, and you can take some resources. But actually trying to 3-star this base? No, forget about it. You're not going to try and 3-star this base. So let's talk about why these issues are still problematic and pissing people off. So we go into the leaderboards here, and you can see within the last like 2 or 3 days, because the game has only been out for about 10 days now in America, quote unquote. So Happy Guy has went from like 5,000 trophies to 16,000 trophies. And there's no humanly way possible to get this many trophies without exploiting some bot bases nonstop, like farming these guys. You can see his base. His base doesn't even look that strong, actually. You could probably easily 50% his base. Look, there's a lot of structures out on the outside. So you can hit all the structures on the top there. There's 4 structures completely free. You can hit the gold storage over here in the top left. You can hit the stone storage. You can hit this lumber storage. You can hit the gold storage. You can hit these buildings here. And then the only thing that you're going to actually trigger on this side is you're going to trigger the sentry. So by the time you get down to about this area, you'll trigger the sentry. And all these other buildings were completely free. So those buildings completely free. You've got the Eagle Temple. You've got the wood generator completely free. You've got Stone Quarry completely free. You've got these buildings over here completely free. You've got this storage completely free. You got these all completely free. So again, all you're worried about is this right here. So you have all of these free structures, and you could easily get 50% on this guy's base. A level, like, 2 player could get 50% on this guy's base with simply archers. There's no reason that this guy should be number 1 with 16,000 trophies because his base sucks. There's also no reason that there should be a 10,000 trophy gap between first and second place. So, same thing. All of the defensive structures are guarding the Great Hall in the center. He's only got a sentry up in the top that will guard this area. Everything else is completely free. You can grab all these free buildings, and you have another sentry down here that's going to protect a little bit on this area. But everything else completely free. Again, easily 50% this guy's base. There should be no reason this guy player is number 2 in the rankings. But that's going in with matchmaking and how the economy is screwed up. You can click on their portrait and you can actually see this guy is not a very good raider. He wins 71% of the time. If we look at my stats are like 97%. He's only done 1,544 battles, and I would argue that most of those battles are against bot bases. And number 2 guy, he's only done 764 battles. His win percentage is a lot better, so he has a lot better attacker. He's won 92%. And we can take a look here. So, like, we've done 337 battles. Our win percentage is 97%. So they're simply farming bot bases for crowns, making a joke of the leaderboards. Now the big question is, how do you fix this? Is it fixable? And I think it is fixable. You either ban these players on the top, which I don't think the game company is going to do that, because honestly, they're just using the resources that the game has given them. They're farming bases in-game that are easy and free and taking the crowns. So the other option would be to reset all the trophies and reset the crowns. And I think this is what they need to do. I propose a monthly reset. So like a leaderboards where you reset about every month, and then there's like prizes, awards given out, which that would also encourage competition on the leaderboards. But you cannot have any prizes or rewards on the leaderboards when you have a broken leaderboard system. Before they can even do this, before they reset this leaderboards, they have to fix the actual problem. Number 1 is the bot bases. The bot bases need to give little to no trophies. You need to be able to attack other players. You should be able to attack all the players in the top leaderboards as well. So the leaderboards actually goes down to 250 players. I don't know if we need a 250 player leaderboard, but as it is, you should be able to go in and visit their base and then attack them, regardless if they have a shield or anything. Like, if you're in the top 250 players of the game, you should be always attackable. That's the solution that I propose. That would also adjust these rankings significantly. Because like I said, I feel I could easily beat the player 1 and player 2 in the world. Their bases I think suck, and I would love to go and attack them. But I've yet to find them in the random matchmaking. I don't know what country they're in exactly, so I'm not going to be able to fight them locally. But yeah, being able to visit a base and then go in and attack would solve the problem of loot as well, and trophies. Because a lot of times, you'll get decent loot from these players, and that'll push them down in the leaderboards. It'll be harder to stay in the top 250 if you aren't a great defense base. It would also make the game extremely competitive, which is what you want in this kind of a game. This game is a PvP game. Yes, there are PvE elements of walking around collecting chests, but you notice that by collecting chests, you're getting very small resources. The amount of resources that you need to upgrade things, you have to go and steal from other players and battle bases. The other thing that they need to implement in this game to make it better is they need to implement a 3-star victory reward. So if you 3-star a base, you should be able to get a bonus loot reward. You should be able to get bonus gold, bonus lumber, bonus stone. That way it encourages you to actually fight and destroy bases rather than attack for 1 stars and just grab the loot and then run away. Grabbing the loot and running away is still a smart tactic, but at least it encourages more competitive nature of going for 3-star bases. The rewards should scale as well. Clash of Clans did this extremely well. They offered bonus victory rewards for battling and winning matches, and the rewards scaled based on how high of trophies you had in the leaderboards. So the rewards would be different if you were in the top 10, say, compared to if you were in the top 100, if you were in the top 1,000, and so forth. There's a lot of things that are wrong with this game right now, and they need to fix a lot of things. The developers are aware of this, actually, and they're saying that, don't worry, we're still early, like, we're going to get 1 million+ players. Right now, we're only around 20,000 players, and I think this is why that they actually haven't marketed or advertised their game at all yet, because they're aware that the game is in shambles, there's a lot of bugs and a lot of issues going around, and they're trying to fix things. There's also a lot of features that are lacking. There's no way in an Empire to actually see who the leader is. You can't see when people last logged on, so you could just kick random people. So like, for example, like Pink Rooster. Looks like he's a weak player, but I know he was an active member in the last event. He chatted in the chat group, and yeah, so I'm not going to kick him. But if I didn't notice that he was chatting and donating in the Empire event, I'd be like, hey, Pink Rooster, he has no trophies. I'm going to kick him because I think he's probably, inactive, not playing. And someone else say, like, Calbazazi, maybe he's inactive, but he has 400 trophies because he had a lot more trophies when he started enjoying the game. But maybe he hasn't played for 2 days, and I have no reason to know that, hey, he's inactive. Could be same thing if someone up here at like 1,000 trophies is like, hey, Sparkles hasn't logged in the last 3 days, but I don't know that because Sparkles still has 1,100 or 1,025 trophies. Like, we need to be able to know when you can, last logged in. There needs to be a way to like promote people. There also needs to be a way to adjust the stats. So like minimum Great Hall level, we set at level 4. There's no way to actually adjust this. You can't change any of the information in the Empire. And there's so many other things that are needed in this game. And honestly, this should essentially be like a beta. Like, there's just so much stuff that they need to fix and issues that are going on. Matchmaking is number 1, obviously. And then after that, the leaderboards is number 2 that needs to be fixed. Then Empire stuff needs to be fixed. So those are the 3 big things that need to be fixed. And as I said in this video, I've given out some suggestions. I've posted things to the devs. Let me know in your comment section what you think is broken. What do you think is fixable? What would you do to make the game better? I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching, guys.